We'll deliver a full recap of today's game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Craig Stammen's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
Mean launches it deep to left field. Soto's back at the wall. This one gonna go. Oh, Freddie Fermin. Oh, for his last 30. A 2-run go-ahead homer in the bottom of the 7th inning. And that is a best-case scenario. 3-2 San Diego.
Quite a way to snap an over. How about Freddie Fermin? A go-ahead 2-run home run in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It propels the Padres to a 3-2 win on this Saturday night against the New York Mets. Freddie not only snapping his own over 30 skid, but also snapping the Padres' 6-game losing streak. They even up this series at a game apiece as the Padres win it 3-2 against the Mets. Welcome into our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show here on the Padres Radio Network. Quite a moment for Freddie Fermin, a much-needed win for the San Diego Padres here tonight. Padres, it felt like, got a lot of good fortune. They also got some good pitching, and they got just enough offense in this game. But again, the big swing, Freddie Fermin. Boy, did he need that. Boy, did the Padres need that. A huge moment. Another sold-out crowd here at Petco Park going crazy, and the Padres improved to 33-30 on the season. Mets dropped to 28-36. I caught up with Freddie Fermin alongside interpreter Jorge Merlos on the field just moments ago.
Freddie, let's begin with the home run. Considering how things had been going for the team as of late, what did it mean to you to have that kind of moment tonight?
¿Qué te parece? Así como ha hecho el equipo estos últimos partidos para hacer ese jonrón en esa manera, ¿cómo te sentís en hacer eso?
No, mira, tú sabes, el equipo ha estado un poquito, estamos en una situación, no estamos jugando tan bien, pero tú sabes, esto es béisbol, hay que venir todos los días a jugar duro, a dar lo mejor de uno, pero hoy se dieron las cosas, gracias a Dios. Mañana tomar el juego, por el favor de Dios.
Yeah, the way that this game is played, this is baseball and things like this happen all the time. But, we take it day by day. And today, obviously, we were able to get the victory. And tomorrow, we try again to get another one.
To have that kind of swing late in the game, describe to me, what were your emotions in that moment rounding the bases?
Describir las emociones que tuviste ahí, sí, rodeando la base durante ese jonrón.
Mira, sí, buscando mi picheo, gracias a Dios lo conseguí, hice un buen swing, me puse adelante a la bola y mira, no, eso es una emoción que trato de ayudarle al equipo para levantar los ánimos y bueno, gracias a Dios ganamos el juego hoy.
Yeah, I was trying to find my pitch right there on that swing. Obviously I got my pitch that I wanted, and just those emotions that were coming out, that's just to give the team some emotion right there, give them a little bit of pump up for them for the rest of the game, and I think that's that's what I was able to contribute that day.
Freddie, take me behind the scenes. What has the work looked like for you that led up to having that kind of swing in that kind of spot tonight?
¿Qué son las cosas que has hecho ahí dentro de club para mejorar los turnos de bateo y quizás en ese swing también para sacar el jonrón?
Mira, como te dije, esto es el béisbol. El béisbol siempre he dicho que es más negativo que positivo y estoy busco la manera todos los días. Me preocupo como mis compañeros también lo hacen, busco la manera de hacer buen swing, de perfeccionar mi swing, a seguir haciendo el contacto, dándole contacto a la bola, quedarme en mi plan, quedarme en la zona de strike y de verdad gracias a Dios hoy fue un gran día y bueno, como te dije, pues mañana es otro día y tratar de tomar ese mismo ritmo.
Yeah, just like myself, everyone else in this clubhouse is trying to find ways to, put a good swing on the bat, find that perfect swing for me. And luckily today I was able to find that perfect swing. But yeah, it's just along with all these other guys, it's trying to find however way we can to get a win at the end of the day. But, like I said, tomorrow is another day and we'll try to get another victory tomorrow.
Freddie, great job. Congratulations on a big moment. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And tomorrow another day. Thank you.
That was Freddie Fermin right after today's game alongside interpreter Jorge Merlos. What a moment for Freddie Fermin. And you just feel like the Padres needed a moment, a swing like that in the worst of ways, and they finally get it here tonight. Padres snap a 6-game losing skid, and they beat the Mets tonight 3-2 to even up this series at a game apiece, and now the Padres will have an opportunity to win this series in a rubber game tomorrow. When we return, we'll get to all the radio highlights, recap this game from start to finish. We'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen coming up a little bit later as well. Final score here tonight on what became a beautiful Saturday evening here in America's finest city. Padres 3 and the Mets 2. Our postgame coverage continues after this.
Nothing goes better with San Diego.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Final score here tonight, Padres 3 and the Mets 2. As always, our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey player with epic SoCal views, a full bar and poolside bites. Starlight Pool at Jamul Casino Resort is pool season perfected and day passes are available. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. We are just getting started on our post-game coverage here on this Saturday evening. We'll go downstairs here from Padres manager Craig Stammen coming up in just a little bit, and much, much more. But let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Our starting pitching matchup tonight, Griffin Canning on the mound for the Padres, Nolan McLean on the mound for the Mets. Both right-handers tossing 1-2-3 first innings. Canning issued a one-out walk in the second to Marcus Semien. A.J. Ewing singled with 2 on and 2 out. It was Brett Beatty.
Now the 1-0 pitch. And Beatty hits it on the ground up the middle. That'll be into right center. And a base hit. Semien rounding third. He'll come in to score. Ewing speeds into third base. An RBI single for Brett Beatty, and the Mets have struck. It's 1-0.
That's all Canning allowed in the second. Padres still trailed 1-0 in the bottom half of the third. That's when McLean allowed a leadoff walk to Sungmoon Song. Song immediately stole second base. With the Padres offense in search of some luck, they got exactly that when Fernando Tatis Jr. dug in.
3-2 now, and Tatis hits it right back up the middle, kicks off second base, and deflects into right field. That'll get the job done. Song races in to score, and sometimes better to be lucky than good. 1-1 game with Tatis looking towards the heavens while standing at first.
That would be all the Padres scored in the third. Canning pitched a scoreless fourth inning and a scoreless fifth inning. Padres threatened against McLean in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Sungmoon Song hit a leadoff single. The Padres would put runners at first and second with one out. Jackson Merrill flew out to deep center. That moved Song to third base. With Ty France at the plate, Fernando Tatis Jr., the runner at first, took off for second. The Mets faked a throw down to second. Song took the bait. He started running for home. The Mets got Song in a rundown. The inning was over. The Padres running themselves right out of the inning. Canning was done after 5. Adrian Morahone pitched a 1-2-3 top of the 6th. McLean was still in the game. He did the same. So McLean got through 6 innings, 1 run given up. Padres were tied with the Mets at 1-1 heading into the top of the 7th inning. Bradley Rodriguez came on out of the Padre pen. The Mets' Marcus Semien led off.
First pitch, Semien swings, hits it in the air deep to left center field. Sheets is racing back to the wall. This one gonna go right over the Dexcom sign in left center. 7th of the year for Semien. He has been aboard all 3 times, and this time he gives the Mets the lead. It's 2-1.
That's all Rodriguez allowed in the 7th. Right-hander Austin Warren entered for the Mets in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Padres down 2-1. He got the first 2 outs, but then Sungmoon Song hit a tapper on the first base side. It was a little bit in no man's land. Warren ran to it. The first baseman, Jared Young, did the same. Warren tried to pick it up and run to first base. He never had control of the baseball. He sort of tripped over himself and over the first base bag. Ended up being an infield single for Sungmoon Song. So that slow little tapper ended up being very significant. The Padres getting a break on the softly hit ball. That set the stage for Freddie Fermin.
First pitch on the way, and Fermin launches it deep to left field. Soto's back at the wall. This one gonna go! Oh, Freddie Fermin! Oh, for his last 30, a 2-run go-ahead homer in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that is a best-case scenario. 3-2 San Diego.
A massive, massive moment for Freddie Fermin, a no-doubter to left field for Freddie Fermin, his very first home run of the season, and it gave the Padres a 3-2 lead heading into the 8th inning. Jason Adam came in. The Mets got 2 straight 1-out singles. That put the tying and go-ahead runs on base. A sticky situation, runners on first and second, 1 out. Juan Soto dug in.
Pitch on the way. Soto lines it. Caught at second by Song. Throw back to second in time. And a double play. Bench doubled up at second base.
Line drive at 100-plus miles per hour off the bat from Soto. Didn't matter. Right at the second baseman. Song binge doubled off a second, like Jesse said. And the Padres still led 3-2 going to the bottom half of the 8th inning. They still led 3-2 going to the 9th inning. Mason Miller came on. Jared Young flew out to right field for out number 1. Marcus Semien popped out for out number 2. Miller then walked A.J. Ewing. So that put the tying run on base. The go-ahead run dug in Mark Vientos for the Mets.
Not running. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Strike 3. Vientos chased a slider. Mason Miller closes the door. A high five and a hug from Freddie Fermin, who is the hero of the night. Padres stop the skid. Fermin stops his skid. And the Pods a 3-2 win over the Mets to even this series and set up a rubber match here tomorrow afternoon. Final score, San Diego 3, New York 2.
Really, really big win for the Padres here tonight. 3-2 the final score. 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors for the Padres. 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Mets. The winning pitcher tonight, Bradley Rodriguez, despite giving up the home run. The losing pitcher, Austin Warren, gave up the 2-run shot to Fermin. Mason Miller collects his 18th save of the season and his first in a while. We've talked about how Mason has not pitched much as of late, but the Padres needed a win. They got a win. They snapped this 6-game losing streak, and they send the sold-out crowd home happy here tonight as they even up this series at a game apiece, and it sets up the rubber match of this series tomorrow. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. Padres win it 3-2 against the Mets on this Saturday evening. You're listening to the Padres Radio Network.
You're listening to the Home.
Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Padres win it 3-2 against the New York Mets. They snap a 6-game losing skid, and now the Padres with an opportunity to win this series tomorrow. They'll have Randy Vasquez on the mound tomorrow. Mets did just announce that right-hander Huascar Brazaban will open tomorrow's game for New York. It sounds like there's a pretty good likelihood that Sean Manaea will get bulk innings for the Mets tomorrow. So but the pitching matchup as far as starting will be Vasquez, and again, Brazoban will open tomorrow's game for the Mets, just so you know. No doubt about it, Padres got a very important win here tonight. Look, for a lot of this game, this felt like deja vu, where the Padres offense was not doing much of anything against Nolan McLean. When they had opportunities, they weren't finding ways to cash in. There was a pretty significant base running blunder as well. So, look, I'll be honest with you, through 6-7 innings tonight, it was the same stuff. Now, they only had 5 hits tonight, but the Padres found a way. And when you're scuffling as bad as they have been scuffling, that is really all that matters. And here's what I found enjoyable about tonight's game in particular. Sometimes when you're scuffling as a team and you're scuffling as an offense, you just need some breaks. You just need some good fortune. And it felt like the Padres got a lot of that here tonight. Let me go through it, a couple of examples here. Fernando Tatis Jr., his RBI single to tie the game in the third, bangs off the second base bag. Now, it was hit pretty sharply, but Simeon was certainly going to get to it behind the bag. He was waiting for it. Hits the second base bag, caroms into right field, ends up being an RBI single. Song scores, and the game is tied at 1. Who knows? Padres might score in that inning anyway, but that was probably going to be an out. And it hit the second base bag, made all the difference. That was sort of a little bit of luck, part 1. A little bit of luck, part 2, was in the 7th inning, Padres down 2-1. Austin Warren is in the game for the Mets. He gets the first 2 outs of the inning, and then Sung Moon Song hits a tapper on the first base side. It's kind of in no man's land. You had the first baseman, Jared Young, going to it. The pitcher, Austin Warren, was also going to it. It was going to be a tough play for either guy. But I will say, I think if Warren picks it up cleanly, now it was a tough play for him. He's running full speed, has to, in one motion, pick it up and take a couple more steps towards the first base back. I'm pretty confident if he picks it up cleanly, he's going to get Song fairly easily at first base. But he couldn't get it cleanly. He kind of tripped over the ball and the base, and it was a little bit of a mess, and Song ends up getting on with an infield single on a little roller that, if Warren picks it up cleanly, is probably the third out of the inning. And what came after that? The Freddie Fermin home run gives the Padres a 3-2 lead. So that was a little bit of luck, part 2. And then in the 8th inning, Padres are up 3-2. Jason Adam comes in, gives up a couple of back-to-back one-out singles to Benj and Bichette. And who's coming up? Well, Juan Soto. And Juan Soto hits a line drive off Adam, but it goes right to second base. Not only does it go right to the second baseman's Song, Benj is drifting a little bit too far off the second base bag. They double up Benj, a double play, inning over. If Soto hits that line drive, couple feet right, couple feet left, might tie the game, and who knows how this thing ends. So, look, hey, sometimes you need a little good fortune, and you need a little bit of the breaks to go your way, and the Padres got that tonight in a few different respects. And obviously, Freddie did something that had nothing to do with luck, and that was hitting a big home run in this game. And what a moment for Freddie Fermin, snapping an 0-for-30 skid. It has been such a rough go offensively for Fermin. You saw the emotion after the swing, after it left the park. Good for Freddie, good for the Padres, snapping a 6-game skid, and hopefully a sign of things to come for this Padres ball club moving forward. Let's go downstairs. Let's hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen after tonight's 3-2 win.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
So Fermin took a couple of unselfish at-bats earlier on in the game. How nice was it to see him get that home run tonight, especially given those at-bats that he took earlier?
Yeah, awesome to see Freddie come through in that moment. He's been grinding, working hard, having a lot of conversations with us, trying to pat him on the back, uplift him as much as we can. And, you know, I don't know. I thought I saw on his face after that second bunt, he laid it down, and he's like, man, I finally did something good for the team, you know, positively. Not that he hasn't been doing that a ton behind the plate, but offensively he's been, just in a rut. So I don't know if that maybe made him feel a little bit better about his next at bat. But what a huge swing, exactly what we needed, and got us off the schneid a little bit.
You say exactly what you needed. Of course, skids are going to happen in this sport, and not that everything is magically fixed. But what does this kind of do to maybe flush away some of the losses that you guys have had as of late?
Yeah, I mean, those games are all in the past. Like, we've got to put up a brick wall almost every day and say, today is the only day that we can do anything about. And today we decided we were going to have a good day today. And we had a great day out on the field working. And then we played a baseball game today. We got to play a Major League Baseball game in front of 40,000 fans that were all screaming and cheering for us. It was a lot of fun. We came out on the positive end of it, which makes it, a little easier to drive home tonight. So excited about tonight's win, and we got to do it again tomorrow.
What did you think of Griffin Canning tonight?
Yeah, he pitched great. I thought he really controlled the strike zone a little bit. He kept those guys off balance with his off-speed pitches, and finished that outing really strong. That fifth inning was probably his best inning, and got it to our bullpen with the tie game.
You had a Tatis with that ball off second, the Song's base hit, and then Soto kind of lines in the double play. How nice was it to get some breaks to go your way to kind of help you get out of this?
Yeah, that's real nice. And our hitters will say, well, we lined out to left, and we lined out to second, and we lined out to short, So we hit some balls hard tonight too. We didn't get anything to show for it, but we did have some bounces. When Tatis's ball hit second base, we all kind of were like, all right, this might be our day today. We might finally, something finally went our way, and a lot of things went our way tonight, and that helped us win the game.
You've been very vocal about, obviously, with Ramon going down, guys need to step up. Song, the way he was able to kind of get on base, run the bases, just what did you kind of think of him tonight?
Yeah, he did great. We've been talking with, kind of the guys that are on the bench right now and those guys hitting at the bottom of the order, finding ways to create some havoc. And, we're trying to think of ways to do that. We're going to bunt a little bit more, work the pitcher a little bit more, steal some bags, just find a way to, cause some havoc, and get on base for the top of our lineup. And hopefully them hitting with men on base, allows them to be freed up and, do some damage. But Song played a great game tonight. Did some things that definitely helped us win that game.
The play where he takes off from third when Tatis steals, just what kind of was just an error, or what did you think of that play?
Yeah, probably not exactly how we drew that one up. Song definitely didn't read the pump fake, thought he was throwing through to second and then going on that. We just got to practice that a little bit more and, make sure we can communicate with him properly and he understands what we're looking for in that situation. I'll take the blame for that. I've got to be able to communicate with him in the right way so that he understands exactly what we're looking for.
You being a former player, a game like tonight after a losing streak like that, how much could that maybe energize the team moving forward?
Oh yeah, it's a huge lift off your shoulders. You're just like, all right, finally. There's a fear. You always have a fear sometimes when you go on these streaks, like, man, we're never going to win a game. That's just what it feels like every time you drive home and sleep at night. Like, man, are we ever going to win one? And to pull one out like we did tonight, where it looked like we were in the game and then we lost the lead and then we got it right back and then finished it off strong is just a really good feeling, and hopefully creates some more belief. Like, yeah, we are a good team. We have done this for most of the season, a lot of wins like this, and this is how we're going to win going forward in the season also.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following this 3-2 win for the Padres against the Mets here tonight. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we continue our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. Look, don't discount, like Craig alluded to there, just the importance of getting a win and breaking this losing streak and creating some momentum. Look, was this the perfect night for the Padres? No, again, I'm not trying to pour cold water on a really nice win. For the first 6 innings, you were seeing a lot of the same stuff that sort of plagued this team throughout this losing streak in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. But I think what you hope now is seeing Freddie Fermin have that kind of moment, winning a ball game, bouncing back a couple of times, getting some breaks go your way. You heard Craig ask about it there, so I wasn't the only one thinking that. Padres had some good fortune in this game and kind of some, well-deserved fortune for the way things have been going. Don't discount the importance of getting a win here tonight. And tomorrow you go out, let's say the Padres can win tomorrow, win this series, you take a deep breath and you start feeling better about yourself as a ball club with the Reds coming to town. So nice win here tonight. Really great moment for Freddie Fermin, who's been working hard, who's had a really, really rough year offensively. And that was good to see. So a lot of good things to smile about. Bullpen was good tonight. Aside from Rodriguez giving up the home run, Adam did allow the couple of singles. Again, had some good fortune with Soto hitting the line drive right to the second baseman Song to initiate the double play. But, all in all, this was a good night for the San Diego Padres, and hopefully they can take that momentum into tomorrow's series finale. When we come back, we'll get into some of our daily awards. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, again, 833-288-0973. Padres win it tonight 3-2. Our postgame coverage continues from Petco Park after this.
Sid's Carpet Barn in San Diego.
Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Padres win it 3-2 against the New York Mets. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll get you ready for tomorrow's series finale against the Mets. Padres will now have an opportunity to win this 3-game series. Before we go back into what the bullpen did here tonight, I do want to talk about Griffin Canning. I thought Canning was solid in this game. He, walked batter in the second, gave up the RBI single to Beatty, but really aside from that, he did a nice job in this game. 5 innings, 1 run given up, coming off a fairly good start against the Nationals, and you hope this is kind of what you get from Griffin Canning moving forward, keeping you in games, putting together 5-6 quality innings. And Canning did that here tonight on a grand total of 86 pitches, 51 for strikes. We've told you about Canning. Now let's focus on the bullpen a little bit more. Tell you about today's relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Relief pitcher of the game tonight could go with a couple of different options here. You could go with Mason Miller, who had a very nice ninth inning, did issue a 2-out walk, no big deal. Got through it. Mason now 18 for 18 in save opportunities this season. He continues to be terrific when called upon, lowering his ERA to 1.01. I will say just one little note. Remember, he's pitched now 2 straight days because they got him in yesterday to get some work in. So I don't know if he's going to be available tomorrow. That was a little bit of the risk of putting him in Friday. Again, I'm not saying that he's not going to pitch tomorrow, but you would assume there could be a chance that he's unavailable tomorrow. But yeah, look, I said it after the game yesterday. I understood why they did it yesterday, why they needed to get him some work, considering how little he's pitched. But here today, obvious save situation, 1-run lead in the 9th inning. He's coming in, and he was great. 18 for 18 now in save opportunities. I'll give you, though, my relief pitcher of the game, and that is Adrian Morejon, who I thought looked really good tonight. It was interesting. Keep in mind, it's at that point a 1-1 game in the 6th inning, top of the 6th inning. That's a little bit earlier than we're accustomed to seeing Adrian Morejon, but the lane for him made sense because you had the 2, 3, 4 spots in the Met order. You had Bichette, Soto, and Young. Soto and Young are 2 left-handed batters. So I understood in a close game and with the Padres so desperately trying to win a ball game and snap this losing streak, why they were being aggressive tonight. Craig Stammen bringing Morejon in as early as he did, but it was the right lane with the 2, 3, 4, 5, the 2, 3, 4 spots and the 2 lefties coming up. And Morejon was great tonight. That was a really nice inning. Ground out from Bichette, struck out Soto, made him look silly, and then struck out Young really quickly. Really dominant outing for Morejon, kept the game tied. So for that reason, Adrian Morejon, our relief pitcher of the game. Let's tell you about the Padres' heart of the order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order. Presented by Palomar Health, the official healthcare provider of 97.3 The Fan. Palomar Health, leading with heart for every patient. Palomar Health is reimagining healthcare.
Part of the order here tonight, 3, 4, 5 spots. Ty France, Manny Machado, Gavin Sheets. Not a whole lot going on. Offers for all. A collective 0 for 10 between the 3, 4, 5 spots in the Padres lineup tonight. So a quiet night for the heart of the order, but hey, Padres still won it. Freddie Fermin, the big home run, a 2-run shot in the 7th inning to put the Padres ahead for a good look. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat. It wasn't a great day for the Padres offense overall. They had 5 hits. Merrill, France, Machado, Sheets, Bogarts, and Andujar spots 2 through 7 in the Padres lineup took an over. Now, they won the game. Does tonight's game harken back to what we've said for months now, which is those guys are going to have to produce at a much higher level in order for the Padres to have more wins like they had tonight and string them together? Yes, I'm fairly confident in saying that, but tonight, who cares? You had to find a way, snap a 6-game skid with the way things have been going. You don't care who got it done and how you got it done, but you got it done. And you like that tonight from a Padres standpoint, certainly. When we return, a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game. We'll replay my interview with Freddie Fermin one more time in case you missed it, and we'll get you ready for tomorrow's series finale against the Mets, as the Padres will now have an opportunity to win this 3-game set. Final score here tonight, Padres 3, Mets 2 on the Padres Radio Network.
Stay tuned to the
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here tonight, Padres 3 and the Mets 2. Sam Levitt with you inside the Western Metal Building. Another sold-out crowd here tonight in downtown San Diego. It's cleared out. Just me and you now, you and I, on our post-game coverage, as always, taking you home on a Saturday evening as the Mets, the Padres snap a 6-game losing skid here tonight. Really nice win for the Padres. Freddie Fermin, the go-ahead 2-run home run in the 7th inning to put them ahead for good. As always, our post-game coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, with a top 100 spa, an epic rooftop pool, and Lux Hotel Suites. Jamul Casino Resort is the mini vacay you need, the Players Place. Before we get to the out-of-town scoreboard and our play of the game and wrap this thing up tonight, I am going to I'm gonna do something here as kind of a reward for those of you listening to our post-game coverage who are also going to be at the game tomorrow. And it's not a huge reward, just a little reward that you're going to have to be on a first come, first serve basis for tomorrow. Here's what's going on. I was given a small bag. I only have a handful. A small bag of 97.3 The Fan t-shirts. Okay. Now, I had them today with me while I was in the loft pregame. I did give away a few, but I still have a handful left. If you would like a t-shirt and you come say hello to me before they're gone tomorrow, I am not promising anything here because I don't have that many. But if you come say hello to me in the loft tomorrow, I may, if you want one, have a t-shirt for you tomorrow inside the loft. A 97.3 The Fan t-shirt for you. Again, I don't want you to get mad at me. You show up at, 12:55 and they're long gone. I've got some. I don't know what the number is, but it's a small bag of them. It's not a big bag. It's a small bag. But if you come up to me tomorrow and say, Sam, I was listening last night. You got a t-shirt for me? You got any left? Well, we'll get you one. And here's another thing. I don't have all kinds of sizes. I think I got large and extra large. So that's what I got. But if you were listening tonight and you come up to me tomorrow and say, Sam, I was listening last night. You got a t-shirt for me? I do have some 97.3 The Fan t-shirts that I've got the green light to give to our listeners. So just a little tidbit for you. We'll see if anybody comes by tomorrow, says, hey, heard you last night. You got a t-shirt. If I have it, I'll gladly give it to you. But again, don't get mad at me. Don't get, all bothered with me if I don't have the t-shirts. I'm telling you, I only have a few. All right. Anyway, back to the baseball. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard this Saturday evening.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
A full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Saturday evening. Everything has gone final. Mariners beat the Tigers 4-0 in Detroit. Bryce Miller, 6 scoreless innings in that game for the M's. Dominic Canzone also hit a home run for the Mariners tonight. Royals beat the Twins 3-2 in Minnesota. The Cardinals beat the Reds 6-5 in St. Louis. Lars Nootbaar and Jordan Walker hit home runs in that game for the Cards. The Cubs came back to beat the Giants 3-2 in Chicago today. Pete Crow Armstrong hit a game-tying home run in the 9th inning. It was his second of the day, and then the Cubs went on to win it in the bottom half of the 10th. Blue Jays beat the Orioles 6-4 in Toronto. The White Sox beat the Phillies 6-3 in Philadelphia. Braves topped the Pirates 6-3 in Atlanta. Dominic Smith hit a home run in that game for the Braves. Marlins beat the Rays 4-3 in Miami. Astros beat up on the A's 13-2 in Houston today. Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, and Lamont Wade Jr., now an Astro, hit home runs in that game for Houston. Nationals beat the Diamondbacks 6-1 in Arizona. The Guardians blanked the Rangers 6-0 in Arlington. Jose Ramirez hitting his 10th home run of the season in that one. Brewers beat the Rockies 7-1 in Colorado. Dodgers scored 9 runs in the first inning tonight against the Angels. And get this, they didn't score again, and they won the game 9-2. A 9-run first inning. It holds up as the Dodgers win it 9-2 in LA tonight. We did have one postponement. Red Sox and the Yankees rained out in the Bronx. They will make that game up in August. And that is a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Saturday evening. Well, the Padres trailed 2-1 heading into the bottom half of the 7th. That was after Marcus Semien hit a solo home run off of Bradley Rodriguez in the top of the 7th inning. Austin Warren, right-hander, came in for the Mets in the bottom of the 7th. He got the first 2 outs, but then the Padres got some of that luck we were talking about tonight. Sungmoon Song softly hit a little grounder to the first base side. It was between Young, the first baseman, and Warren, who was going over to get it. Warren tried to pick it up and run it over to first base, but he never got it cleanly, sort of tripped over himself and the bag, and it was a little bit of a mess. But Song ends up getting to first base on an infield single on a very softly hit ball. That set the stage for Freddie Fermin, who provided tonight's play of the game.
First pitch.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's play of the game. Presented by Phil Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
First pitch on the way, and Fermin launches it deep to left field. Soto's back at the wall. This one gonna go. Oh, Freddie Fermin. Oh, for his last 30. A 2-run go-ahead homer in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that is a best-case scenario. 3-2 San Diego.
A big-time swing from Freddie Fermin. The 2-run homer, go-ahead shot, first of the year in the bottom half of the 7th inning, propelling the Padres to a 3-2 win here tonight. Like Jesse said, it snapped an 0 for 30 for Freddie Fermin. He had been ice cold. What a moment for Freddie in this ball club tonight. I spoke with Freddie alongside interpreter Jorge Merlos right after tonight's win.
Freddie, let's begin with the home run. Considering how things had been going for the team as of late, what did it mean to you to have that kind of moment tonight?
¿Qué te parece? Así como ha hecho el equipo estos últimos partidos para hacer ese jonrón en esa manera, ¿cómo te sentís en hacer eso?
No, mira, tú sabes, el equipo ha estado un poquito, estamos en una situación, no estamos jugando tan bien, pero tú sabes, esto es béisbol, hay que venir todos los días a jugar duro, a dar lo mejor de uno, pero hoy se dieron las cosas, gracias a Dios. Mañana tomar el juego con el favor de Dios.
Yeah, the way that this game is played, this is baseball and things like this happen all the time. But, we take it day by day. And today, obviously, we were able to get the victory. And tomorrow, we try again to get another one.
To have that kind of swing late in the game, describe to me, what were your emotions in that moment rounding the bases?
Describir las emociones que tuviste ahí, sí, rodeando la base durante ese jonrón.
Mira, sí, buscando mi picheo. Gracias a Dios lo conseguí, hice un buen swing, me puse adelante a la bola. Y mira, no, eso es una emoción que trato de ayudarle al equipo para levantar los ánimos, y bueno, gracias a Dios ganamos el juego hoy.
Yeah, I was trying to find my pitch right there on that swing. Obviously I got my pitch that I wanted, and just those emotions that were coming out, that's just to give the team some emotion right there and give them a little bit of pump up for them for the rest of the game. And I think that's what I was able to contribute that day.
Freddie, take me behind the scenes. What has the work looked like for you that led up to having that kind of swing in that kind of spot tonight?
¿Qué son las cosas que has hecho ahí dentro de Cluja para mejorar los turnos de bateo y quizás en ese swing también para sacar el jonrón?
Mira, como te dije, esto es el béisbol. El béisbol siempre he dicho que es más negativo que positivo, y estoy busco la manera todos los días. Me preocupo, como mis compañeros también lo hacen, busco la manera de hacer buen swing, de perfeccionar mi swing, a seguir haciendo el contacto, dándole contacto a la bola, quedarme en mi plan, quedarme en la zona de strike, y de verdad, gracias a Dios, hoy fue un gran día, y bueno, como te dije, pues mañana es otro día y tratar de tomar ese mismo ritmo.
Yeah, just like myself, everyone else in this clubhouse is trying to find ways to, put a good swing on the bat, find that perfect swing for me. And luckily today I was able to find that perfect swing. But yeah, it's just along with all these other guys, it's trying to find however way we can to get a win at the end of the day. But, like I said, tomorrow is another day, and we'll try to get another victory tomorrow.
Freddie, great job. Congratulations on a big moment. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And tomorrow another day. Thank you.
That was Freddie Fermin alongside interpreter Jorge Merlot's. Freddie, the big swing in the 7th inning as the Padres win it 3-2. Taking a look ahead to tomorrow, the final and rubber game of this 3-game series between the Padres and the New York Mets. Right-hander Randy Vasquez on the mound tomorrow for the Padres. Opening the game tomorrow, it'll be right-hander Huascar Brazoban on the mound for the Mets. Now, it has sounded like Sean Manaea could pitch tomorrow and get bulk innings for the Mets tomorrow. They did that the last turn through the rotation. So we've got to hear a little bit more about that tonight and into tomorrow. But it does sound like Manaea will get some bulk innings tomorrow, if I was reading the situation correctly in the lead up to today. So Brazoban again will open. Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres. First pitch tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 12:10. As always, if you missed any portion of our postgame coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. If you would rather go back and watch any portion of our postgame coverage here tonight, you can do that by going to the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and enjoy any portion of our postgame in video form there as well. A look at the final totals in this one as the Padres snap a 6-game skid. For the Padres, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left on 4. For the Mets, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left on 5. Winning pitcher Bradley Rodriguez, who improves to 1-2. Losing pitcher Austin Warren, who drops to 1-2, and the save goes to Mason Miller, his 18th of the season, now 18 for 18 in save opportunities. Time of game tonight, 2 hours and 22 minutes in the crowded Petco Park in downtown San Diego, the 27th sellout of 2026, and they went home happy here tonight. 40,770 in the building on what became a very fun Saturday night. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 12:10. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Petco Park. Again, the final score here tonight, the San Diego Padres 3 and the New York Mets 2. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.